Hi, in a recent exam, we had this equation to solve, and ClassPad didn't do it too well. Let's just have a look. So here we go. X power 4 is equal to minus 16i. So we use the shift key, shift decimal point, to put in the complex number, tap execute. ClassPad's the first to remind us we haven't changed to complex mode yet, so we'll change to complex and tap execute again. Perfect. Now we want to solve. So I've got my equals key set up to pop in the word solve, tap execute, and here we go. Now it's not too good. Let's just show you what that looks like. It's pretty long. It goes off the screen. It's about kind of two of these massive screen widths. So let's go back to being a normal calculator. The first thing though that we might try to do is use the complex expand tool. Let's give it one of those. And at least when we go into resizable mode, you can see that now we've kind of got, there's the first solution, and it's got its real and imaginary parts, but it's not too good. And the examiners, I'm going to go back to fixed size mode. The examiners asked the students to return it in polar form anyway. So here we go. Action complex to, let's use the old trig form here. And so now things are looking pretty good. Here we go. 2 cis 7 pi on 8. Let me just show you the rest of the solutions though, and look at the second one here. ClassPad really struggling, and so on. So there's 1, 2, here comes the third solution, here's the fourth, and the fifth is sort of somewhere. Oh, here's another nice one out there, but this is typical ClassPad behavior. So let's go back to being a normal size calculator. So we don't want that hassle. We pay good money for this calculator. So let's go off and run ourselves a little program. So in the program department, I'm going to choose zRootsII, fire it up with the play button, say OK to Charlie telling you what's going on. So we know we've got it in Cartesian form here. So we'll opt for 1, say OK. And we simply want the fourth roots, comma, of 0, comma, and negative 16 is the complex part. So down here you can see here we're told what to do. Here is a clue. The 3 roots of the cube root of 3, square root of 3 minus I. We just put in 3 root 3 negative 1. So here we go. We want the fourth roots of 0 minus 16i. We say OK, and ClassPad just shows us what we put in polar form as well here. So 16 cis minus pi by 2. A little bit of working maybe there. Tap play. It's converted them all into decimal form. And one more tap on this little green fella here. Now watch out for that. Some of the options, if there are a lot of solutions, it stops and you've got to tap the little green fella here to get onto the next screen. But here we go. So we've got sort of 7 options up here, but there's a couple of bonus ones, 10, 30, and 50. But let's go through them. Number 1, it's giving us the roots in polar form. Standard means it's going to kind of give them an exact form and in radians. So here we go. R cis 7 pi by 8, 3 pi on 8, minus pi by 8, minus 5 pi by 8. Very nice. No kind of scrolling over lots of screens. Let's try option number 2. Now option 2 is the same, but it's just going to give us these values in decimal rather than standard. So here we go. There they are as decimals. We probably wouldn't use that one a lot. Option 3 is we can get the angles or the arguments of the complex number in degrees. So let's give it a go. Number 3. Again, we're in standard, so we're going to get exact values in degrees. So you can see the first angle 315 over 2. Let's go on to number 4, which is going to just give us this same solutions, but in decimal mode. So here we go. There's the 4 angles in degrees. Option 5 will give us solutions in Cartesian form. So here we go. Now they're kind of pretty hard to interpret what's going on there. We'll come back in a second. 6 will convert all these into decimal mode. So option 6 gives us them all in decimal form, but again the Cartesian. So X, the real part, Y, the imaginary part. Number 7 is plot, so let's have a look at the roots. Here they are, evenly spaced around a circle of radius 2 at the 4 angles that we know. Now to get back to the main menu, you can see the little green lights lit up down here. So we tap that fella, we're back to the menu. Now, the options that you might have forgotten about were 10, 30, and 50. So 10, if we choose that, we're going to get the polar solutions in standard form in radians. So here we go. But we get an extra screen show up upstairs. So it's writing it out as 2 cis 7 pi on 8. Tap OK, we get the next one. 2 cis 3 pi on 8. The third one, and one more for the last one. So that just gives us then there wasn't enough room to put those options in on the main menu here, but those standard ones, so number 1, 3, and 5, if you shove a 0 after it, so like 30, now we're going to get them in degrees, and upstairs 2 cis and in an exact form, and so on. So it makes it a little bit easier to write those down. And of course, number 5, if we put in a 50, then we're getting them. So here we go, the X and the Y. This actually means it's the, well, whatever you can see there. Here's the real, and here's the imaginary part. OK gives us the next one. OK gives us the next one, and OK gives us the next one. Just keep an eye on these little fellas. There's a root of root 2 plus 2 and some signs going on there. Anyway, when we're finished, we hit 0 and quit. I hope you enjoy the program. Just as a little, if you've got a second, let's go back to main here. Now remember this little fella here, this was the bit that ClassPad, I'm just going to take a copy of that and paste it back in down here. Ask ClassPad to try and simplify it, and of course good old ClassPad, no, it doesn't do much. But watch this, if we square it, simplify it, and then square root it with a shift power, there it is. So basically this was the trouble that ClassPad had. It just looked at this and went on holiday, didn't it? Because basically we've seen that this was the answer the program was giving us, and it's the same. It's just struggling. All right, nice to be with you. Cheers.